What are you most proud of in your career or hobby so far? Welcome back, friends. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth, the Ruthless Crafter, and on my channel I talk about all things knitting, crochet, and crafting with the kids. Today you are watching part of my daily vlog series where I share behind the scenes of being an entrepreneur and also just some get to know you questions so that we can get to know each other better. For me, I have really enjoyed my career so far and the unique journey that it's taken. Each of the jobs that I have done have really been relevant to what is important to me in my life at that phase. When I first graduated from university, I worked at a charity and learned a ton. I started off as data entry clerk. I got promoted to special events coordinator, which really did awesome with my organizational skills. And then I was also in charge of a city for door-to-door requests, because in the day that's when we did it and it was the norm to do it. So I was in charge of getting all the volunteers and mapping out the routes and dropping off the envelopes to all the volunteers, and then at the end gathering them up. So that was a really cool job. From there, I decided to grow from a grassroots foundation or charity to go with a firm who essentially I was an employee for them, but I got sent into the environment of the client, who were charities as well, but they were doing larger capital campaigns. So they were making new buildings to house all the new programs they were developing. I had a lot of university and hospital clients, so it was really cool. And why I say that the charities were part of that part of my life is because I didn't want to work for the man and make him richer. I wanted to make a difference in the world, so that is how I got into the charity sector. Charities didn't pay very well, as I learned from my first grassroots charity experience. So I made a strategic move into a for-profit, not-for-profit business that I worked for. So that worked out really awesome. And it was there that I happened to be, on a personal side, meeting my husband. We got engaged, we got married, and eventually had our first child. So when I was done maternity leave, it just didn't feel right to go back, even though I did have a client to go to. So my husband and I talked it over. We decided I would stay home, and to be able to afford to stay home and raise my daughter at the time, but we were planning for more, I decided, because I had to do the work, but my husband helped me work at opening a home daycare so that I could have little friends and socialize my daughter, as well as be able to afford to stay home with her. And I did that for over 11 years, and it was a lot of work, but it was also some of the best years I've had. So fast forward 11 years of doing the home daycare, I also was working on my early childhood education certificate at the local college. It was a part-time apprentice program, which was super cool, and it was sponsored by our region, so I only had to pay a small amount for books and the tuition. But it was, at that point, I think I was a year and a half into a 3-year program, because there was only 2 courses a term, twice a week, that I went to school. I realized that my heart wasn't in it anymore. I had been doing it for so long. My kids were now in the older years of elementary school, and I just needed a change. I gave it a good go. It served me well at the time, but I was ready to just not anymore, if that makes any sense. So I made a plan. I did some back backup savings so that we had a financial cushion if it didn't go through. I did a lot of research on what I wanted to do, and after some stops and starts of different efforts under the virtual assistant umbrella, I finally drilled it down to have my own marketing agency, and I opened it up at that time. So a year and a half into it, I am very happy. I have a core group of clients, and also since about 2014 till present, I have been working on my handmade business, which is how we have likely met, The Ruthless Crafter, where I design knit and crochet character hat patterns, and I also have some limited edition finished ones and offer the patterns for purchase. And recently I've started to write children's books that tell the story of each character. For me, that was a game changer, and it turned my hobby into something that I would really like to make full-time. So my efforts are still serving my marketing agency clients, but I also am really, really focused on growing the handmade business, because something in publishing the books to go with the patterns has ignited something in me that I just have to share it with the world. So overall, I'm pretty proud of how my career has gone, the journey it's followed, and how it has honored each phase of my life, what was important to me then. And yeah, so now it's your turn. What are you most proud of in your career or your hobby, the journey that it's taken, the choices you've made? Share it in a comment below, because I can't wait to read all about it and have a conversation with you. Until next time, my friends, may the yarn be with you.